Hey there, Addie here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Last week I told a pretty serious story about my brush with Amway. If you haven't seen that, link's up here. Trying to remember which side the cards are on. Anyway, thank you so much to those of you who have watched it, who hopefully you have benefited from it. And again, it wasn't to say why you shouldn't do Amway or why you should do Amway or any of those things. It was just my experience. But because I did a more serious video last week, this week I'm going to be telling a more lighthearted sort of story/experience. And that is my experience with the music, with singing, vocal lessons, all of that. To start it off, I'll sort of give you a little bit of background about my music knowledge and how I started and how I got here today. First of all, I started singing when I was about 7 years old in elementary school. I took music lessons. Well, it was kind of forced on us where everybody had to take music lesson, but that was cool. She's actually the woman who was the music teacher then. She's actually one of the organists at the church that I used to go to back in Massachusetts. So she's probably not going to see this, but Miss Gallagher, shout out to you. I started doing that, but I didn't get serious until I was 14 years old, which is when I started high school. I joined the choir. I had a really good time with that. I went through a couple different choir directors. I continued doing that through college. I did the Bryant Singers, which is the choral group. So I had a very choral heavy background. And then even beyond college, I was actually part of a church choir. I'm not part of that anymore for some personal reasons. Anyway, like I was saying, I had a very choral centered background, which isn't a bad thing. I love choral music. It was really fun. I got to do a lot of traditional hymns, like the Cantate Domino and the Hallelujah Chorus. I learned that when I was 16. The alto part, yes, I'm an alto, trying to expand my range more. But then I started taking voice lessons for a couple of different reasons. A few years ago, I wanted to give my parents a very personal Christmas gift. And what that gift was involved me recording my own voice and putting it on a CD for them. I say CD because they are very technologically inept, so I wanted to kind of meet them in the middle. How did it all start? Well, first, I want to give a huge shout out to Logan Shelton, who is my voice teacher. If you're watching this, hi. I'll send you a link. Hopefully you'll enjoy this. And I also hired my friend Scott of Scott and Ricey Joe. I think I've mentioned them on pretty much every single video, or most videos now. He is a sound engineer, and so I hired him to record me. I did that for 2 years. I wanted to take voice lessons because I knew it was going to be a little bit different than choral singing, where I obviously would have a lot of people backing me up, but this time it would be all me. And I have done a few solos in the past. I used to sing for church, which is called cantoring in the Catholic Church, coming from cantar, which means to sing. I used to do that. I sang a few solos in high school, a couple in college, but this time I knew it was going to be serious. I reached out to Logan. He was actually a former member of Vocal Point, so that's a pretty cool thing to say that I'm being taught by a former member of my favorite group. That's pretty insane to me. So I reached out to him. He taught me how to change my voice, all sorts of different vocal techniques, different warm-ups. I've done songs that I've never thought would be possible for me. It is honestly so fun. And with vocal lessons, I also want to share with you some of the benefits that I've seen. One is my confidence has really grown with my voice. Not just with, of course, with me talking too, but also with just singing in general. It is so different going from being a choral singer where you're singing with about 40 to 50 other people to just me. It's a totally different animal. Huge shout out to Logan. What's awesome about him was similar to me. He did a lot of choral stuff beforehand, and then he moved into more solo contemporary, which is the style that I'm studying right now. Another thing is that it's just a good way to unwind. I just like everybody else. We all have stressful lives. We have stressful jobs at times. We have a lot on our plates. So being able to concentrate on singing, it takes your mind out of that. Another thing I love about voice lessons is I do one-on-one lessons, so it's very individualized, and I get to learn more about my voice teacher. He gets to learn a little bit about me. And I gotta say, I was a little, no offense to you, Logan, if you're watching this, but I was nervous my first lesson because this new person who I kind of knew him before, but he never really heard me sing, is going to hear me sing, which is very vulnerable. Know that if you are nervous to sing, whether in front of one person or 100 people, it is totally normal. You're opening yourself up to critique. You're opening yourself up to people either approving or disapproving of your voice. It's a lot to think about. But those are some of the big benefits that I've seen with my voice lessons. I've definitely sound more confident. I sing stronger. And not only that, but it gives a sense of pride just to see my growth from going from choral singer to where I am now. Actually, at my last voice lesson, Logan actually pointed out that I have picked up songs really well, especially new songs. He's having me learn this new song by Benson Boone. And some parts were a little bit harder than others, not gonna lie. But even some parts, he was shocked that I got them at first. He was kind of thinking, well, this is her first time hearing it. She's probably not going to get this. And I just nailed them. Those are some of my biggest benefits for taking voice lessons. Now, what about you? Maybe some of you do sing, maybe you don't. You're thinking about voice lessons. You don't know where to start. Well, here are some tips for you. 1, do your research. And I mean that in a number of different ways. 1, talk to people who take voice lessons. Ask who they take them with, what kind of style, what kind of goals they have. It's definitely good when you and the voice teacher are on the same page. Just like with any sort of artistry, whether you're looking to buy a painting, going to get a tattoo, want to get some photos done, it is really important to choose the person who does the style that you want. Same thing applies to a voice teacher. Maybe you want to do more opera singing, so go to someone who is more experienced in opera. Maybe you want to do more contemporary pop style, so you should go to that person, kind of like Logan is. Or maybe you want to get more into musical theater, so you should find someone who does a lot of musical theater style music. I would say another tip is be open and honest. Tell, like I said, with the goals, be honest with your voice teacher. Tell them right away what you want to accomplish, what some of your goals are, what you may be a little self-conscious to do. For me, that's singing higher. As I mentioned briefly, I did sing alto for the longest time. And actually, in high school, I also sang tenor my senior year for chamber choir because I guess my voice teacher didn't have any actual tenors or none auditioned. So I would have to fill that role. And with expanding your range, I do want to say that it is difficult because your voice sits in a certain place. Not going to lie. But the thing to remember is it's a muscle. Just like when you go to the gym, you're not going to be able to bench your goal weight at first. You got to work your way up. Same sort of thing with your voice. You got to start in the comfort zone, and then you got to learn new techniques in order to reach lower or higher, whatever you're trying to accomplish. Another thing I would say is, this is a tip that I got from another friend of mine when I asked him about recording, because he's done a fair share of recording himself. If you are going to record or even sing a new song or try a new voice teacher, don't be afraid to be bad. And what I mean by that is, obviously don't go in with no practice or with no low expectations, but just know that you're human and that you're going to stumble a little bit. You're going to make some mistakes. It is learning a new song, just like anything else. It takes time. It's challenging. It's hard. You gotta wash, rinse, and repeat. But that's the thing. That's all it comes down to is practice. I actually saw this meme a little while ago where people think musicians or vocalists are some superhuman creatures who just get it right and they're just uber talented and they've got some sort of gene. No. It's the most unglamorous, overused sort of, I don't know how to say it, but unglamorous, obvious, overused formula, and that just boils down to practice. Do things, lots of vocal exercises, lots of warm-ups, listen to other singers, see what style they're doing and what they're singing like. I remember the director of Vocal Point, he said, when you're trying to arrange song, don't just listen to a song for enjoyment, but actually hear, what is the bass doing? What is the tenor doing? Or what's this person doing? Or how are they forming their words? Same sort of thing when you're trying to learn a new song is, what are they doing? Or what are some of the techniques they're using? Hopefully those tips helped you out. I am going to leave below links to my social media as well as my voice teacher social media. He's on TikTok, he's on YouTube, Instagram, all the things. He is insanely talented. I am so blessed to have him as my voice teacher. Again, Logan, hey, thank you so much for what you have done. If you like this kind of video, give me a big thumbs up. Comment down below what other videos you'd like to see, what you thought of this video, and subscribe. Hit the little bell icon. That way you'll see every time that I post a new video. As I mentioned in my last video, I'm trying to post every Saturday, noon Mountain Standard Time. Thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.